Hello and welcome to Digital Transformation for Humans with your host Amy. In this podcast, we delve into how technology intersects with leadership, innovation, and most importantly, the human spirit. Each episode features visionary leaders who understand that at the heart of success is the human touch, nurturing a winning mindset, fostering emotional intelligence, and building resilient teams. Today's conversation is going to focus on AI for business intelligence. We'll dive into the new opportunities connected to the latest technologies and discuss how companies can embrace them. Harold Dickenson from Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, is our expert guest today. Welcome, Harold.
Thank you very much for having me.
Great to see you here today. Let's start the conversation and transform not just our technologies, but our ways of thinking and leading. Interested in connecting or collaborating? Find more information in the description. Subscribe and stay tuned for more episodes. Harold, to start our conversation, please tell us a little bit more about yourself, about your journey, about your background and your aspirations. You are working with exciting topics, with exciting companies, and you are placed in a country which is developing in an amazing way. So I'd like to hear about all that, and I'm sure that our listeners and viewers are also very interested in your story.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm originally from the Caribbean and I moved to the UAE about 13 years ago. And I've been working with a construction company as a multimedia specialist, which means that I'm communicating using different types of mediums. And it's something I absolutely enjoy doing. And that's where the technology started advancing. Like you saw things coming out from the woodwork, like you saw BIM and you saw AI getting much more matured, and you heard about the metaverse and AR and VR. And one thing I absolutely love about the UAE and Dubai in particular is that they're very future facing when it comes to embracing technology. Many companies and countries can have a mentality of, okay, let's just sit back and wait for some time and let the dust clear and see what ends up as the winner, where Dubai is a bit like, right, we will go and try and we'll see what works, and we'll invite people who have this vision. And if you want to, if you really want to push the boundaries of what's possible, then come and do it here. And they create this great fertile ground for people with vision and ambition to come and test their ideas and grow with the country. And it's a great place to be, especially when it comes for future-facing technology. I mean, even if you drive around Dubai, you feel it's a city of the future, and you do understand why it then attracts a lot of the mindsets of individuals who are more futurist than realists at times. You've seen its growth in things like digital currencies and digital assets. So this is why where the technology is now going, it's a great place to be, because there are more companies and individuals who are willing to take that test with you, help you push the boundaries with them. So yeah, the UAE is great for this, and it's very fortunate that I'm here, and I still love it here. So it's definitely, I'm going to be here for some time, continue to push boundaries too.
That is amazing. And I have heard so many fantastic stories exactly about the vision and the space to apply all your potential in there from many other friends and colleagues who have been working with Dubai. It is really impressive how much space and opportunities it offers in a good way. Jumping back to the topic of AI and those exciting technologies, could you tell us more about how AI is revolutionizing business intelligence and what new opportunities does it present for businesses looking to gain that competitive edge?
Sure. Okay. So I'm going to preface and say I am not an AI scientist. So from the development standpoint of things, I'm not that person. From the implementation side of things, I definitely understand the benefits of the system. And this is where companies need to start thinking differently with AI. A scientist can implement, but you need a strategy. I come in the strategy layer of things. Um, when I say strategy, fine, we have a lot of information. We have, and most companies have tons of data that no one humanly can go through and make sense of. AI can not only make sense of this information, it can begin creating models around different attributes of a company. You can begin to understand why certain products were performing the way they were. Against the ideals or what the company thought was the reason for why these products were performing. It allows you to start looking much deeper into the information you already have, and the results are absolutely fantastic because it completely changes the way we make decisions, and that's the challenge in most companies. Gone are the days when we can afford to make decisions on a whim. We need to understand the deeper layers of our decision making. For instance, if we're positioning a product to a certain market, why are we positioning it to that market, not this market? What are the indicators? Now, I know this may be marketing speak, but marketers will be the first to tell you data is king. If we understand who we're doing something for and why they would want it or their motivations, we would get better results. So taking that particular mindset back to the business model, it's being able to make better decisions, and not just being able to make better decisions, but making them much faster. I mean, we don't have weeks to sit around and troll through data to ensure we're making the correct choice. But we have to make sure the data is correct in order that the decisions that we're being fed are trusted. So AI is really changing the way this whole information loop is being served. For one thing, you can train a model to ensure the data you're putting into it is correct, it's standardized, it's structured. And then you can train the same model or supporting model to take that information and put it into different brackets that would help different parts of the business. For instance, production may need one set of metrics. One set of metrics can support their decision making, which may then ultimately support what marketing is doing. It could either also support what sales is doing. So just by understanding the information better and being able to react to it faster because it's been verified, businesses can really turbocharge what they're doing. For instance, one example I can quickly share is there's a company that I'm aware of. Their bidding process required considerable man hours because they had to troll through a lot of information in order to just start. A lot of that trolling, a lot of that verification process is managed by the system, and they're given a dashboard that then provides them with the green light. This could save days, if not weeks of time, and enable them to be more competitive because now they can approach more projects.
That is really interesting. And speaking about big data and models and innovative technologies, you bring me to another solution which is really popular on the market and in the United Arab Emirates. It's even more popular because it applies to the construction field, it applies to the automotive industry, and many other areas where we really see fast development. Digital twins. It's a very popular, innovative solution on many roadmaps. So, can you reveal some details on this trend? Because I know you've been working with that and you have something interesting to share with us today.
For sure. Actually, digital twins are my main focus at this point in time. And the reason why it allows you to plug in so many different technologies into it that it's a bit of a why have we not, or why shouldn't we kind of conversation. Now, for those wondering what a digital twin is, it is not just a virtual replica of an object. If I scan myself, it's not a digital twin. Let's just get that out of the way. That is a virtual replica. It looks like me, it does nothing else. A digital twin is able to visualize a process or information real time. So, for instance, think of it this way. You're accustomed to your Google Maps. I like using Google Maps. This is such an easy example. It's showing you where you are on the road that you're traveling, and it's also indicating what the traffic conditions on that road are. It's a twin of that road system, right? It may not be high fidelity because you do not need the distractions. And we need to also remember twins have their uses. And the reason for that is, could you imagine if you're so caught up looking at how nice the visuals look on your navigator that you're not watching the road? So again, the twins have their uses, and one of the uses, or the use that I am involved with for digital twins, is for sales and marketing, especially in luxury and complex projects. Complex projects mean master planning, urban planning, really big architectural or construction type initiatives. Reason being, there's so many moving parts that tracking them is not a simple task. And that's where the twin comes in. You can use it for stakeholder engagement. Okay, what is this particular area going to look like? What are these features going to look like? I can recount before Expo was done, I had a remit of connecting with the team on the ground and showing them some of the developments created by the Zaha Hadid team. So, and the Sheikh at the time would put on the VR headsets, and she'll walk around the public realm, and she'd be like, "Oh, these are too high, these are too low. Okay, the design came out right." And by creating this digital twin of the whole area, they were able to make decisions so much faster than the traditional workflow. Imagine having to create them in real life and then look at them and then have to start over again. So you can see how making these twins really speed up processes. Now, the challenge comes with most twins are not made in the correct way, and I need to explain this. There needs to be a strategy, and there needs to be an understanding of the use. So this is why whenever I have workshops on twins, I usually ask, okay, what is the goal of the twin? If it's marketing, who is it marketing for? Who's the end user? We have to start with them in mind. If it's an internal process that we need to visualize and optimize, okay, who are the individuals who are part of that process? Because we cannot take out the human element out of any process we create, especially with twins. Yes, we can visualize information, but who is using the twin? Who is going to benefit from the output? And this is what makes a massive difference. So, bringing the human element into the conversation at the beginning, and not, okay, so now we have people who will use it, which is what happens. I mean, so many times we've seen these amazing processes put in place, but the people who are using the process, they'll find it cumbersome or clunky, or they don't understand the need to learn a new system instead of a system adapting to them. And this is one great way of having a digital twin, because now you can get all those inputs in early, and you can understand from on the ground the truths that really manage a process and help to make it more efficient, not just from a computer's point of view, but from those who are using the system. So this is why digital twins can be so amazing and great to use.
Thanks for sharing those golden nuggets, because the human factor, it is really the piece which is oftentimes left behind, but still it is something what can make or break your digital transformation.
Yes.
Would you like to mention some other technologies driving advancements that companies should be aware of?
Oh, for sure. This one's a little controversial, but I do still see tokenization. They were known as NFTs at one point, but the tokenization of assets and the tracking and the sale or the status is still something that is going to be very big. And moving forward, we're going to see more of it, because it makes sense if we can track something from the cradle to the grave, if you understand, when a product is made to when it's decommissioned. By tokenizing that product, we have all the parts, all the moving parts of that one product gathered in one set of information. So if it's sold, if it's repaired, if it's damaged, all that information stays there, and it now becomes a true copy of that particular product. Sorry, and even that information can then be fed into the twin, and you'll have a record of everything that is part of that product. So blockchain, for sure, blockchain is not going away. We do see that it's going to become more standard. We already know this. Blockchain is here to stay. Digital currencies, definitely we will see more of the adoption of that. It's not something I speak too much about. I'm not an expert on digital currencies, but I do understand enough to understand it's the next level of our financial infrastructure. And for sure, technologies like AR, VR, and the metaverse, we are going to see more exploits into these technologies because they really assist in many ways of our interactions and our learning and the way the current generation connects with each other. And that's something I usually tell to a lot of stakeholders, that we dismiss technologies based on our experience. Like, for instance, the metaverse, as it was known a few years ago, it was never for our generation. We don't have that online personality. But speak to a 10-year-old right now and ask them, do you play Roblox? Where your best friends from? And you'll have a very different conversation than you'd have with someone your own age. Their worldview is very global. So because of that, the way technology works for them in the future needs to be very global. We're still on a countrywide scale, but they're very global in the way they interact and play now. So it's a very different mindset between the different generations.
I'm impressed. Harold, today in our conversation, we touched upon so many critical points. It is about the mindset shift. It is about all those amazing technologies. Today, we really opened up for so many exciting topics and opportunities. And also, you shared so many wise ideas and your experience around how to deal with all those technologies. But to wrap up today's conversation, could you please share your practical advice on how businesses can integrate these technologies into their existing systems to reduce risks and ensure successful implementation, and as well gain a competitive edge?
Yeah, for sure. First of all, start with a strategy. Don't silo the technology. Don't go technology first. Start with the strategy and think of how you need the strategy or what goals you have for this particular strategy. So if you're building an optimization to your current workflow, sit down and start discussing how they can be a part of this conversation. Start with a conversation, right? So don't try to do it all alone, because this is just going to make your strategy more convoluted. Get experts on the table, sit down and discuss with them your goals and ideals, and let them help you to put together a roadmap. Once you have that roadmap, begin playing with the elements that are required. Begin bringing people to the table that are going to help move this forward. All right. So I would say, one, get a strategy in place. Two, after you have that strategy, bring experts to the table, start discussing your goals and objectives. And three, create a fertile ground for actual innovation and experimentation. Don't say you're going to innovate and then every idea you shoot it down. Bring people to the table. Let them throw ideas out. Look at things from different sides. Don't dismiss things. You need that very rich environment to explore and grow within the company and within the team. So I would say create these spaces, get the strategy in place, and start moving forward. Don't be afraid with it.
I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for sharing your vision with us, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for joining us on Digital Transformation for Humans. I'm Amy, and it was enriching to share this time with you. Remember, the core of any transformation lies in our human nature, how we think, how we feel, and connect with others. It is about enhancing our emotional intelligence, embracing a winning mindset, and leading with empathy and insight. Subscribe and stay tuned for more episodes where we uncover the latest trends in digital business and explore the human side of technology and leadership. Until next time, keep nurturing your mind, fostering your connections, and leading with heart.